Welcome to part 3 of the banana boat. So, when we left off, I think we were at the desk sergeant. So the desk sergeant says, "May I see the slip?" No, that's not where we were. We're not going to do that. If you want to see the desk sergeant stuff, you're going to have to go back to the other one. He's in the depths below. He's in hell, and he's just about to meet the devil. So, sure enough, and I could prolong this, but I'm not going to. There obviously is the devil's ward, and then he's got to wait for him and tell his story a bunch of different times. Not going to do that. I respect your time, and thank you for listening so far. So the devil approaches the guy and explains, all right, here you are, welcome. It's not as bad as they say. It's not great, but it's not as bad as they say. You're here for all of eternity, so you might as well make the best of it. Here's what happens. Yes, it's hot. You never actually completely get used to it. It will always be hot, and you'll always be miserable because of the heat. Be careful, because fire shoots out all over the place at any given time. You can never plan for it. And, you can get a hot foot, you can get burned. It's painful, so watch for the shooting fire things, because you never know. I suggest you pick up a hobby or two. There are things that we do while we're here for eternity. A lot of people will try to solve a Rubik's Cube, or they'll do Sudokus or crossword puzzles or something to keep their mind occupied. Me, the devil, I've been here the longest, since before anyone else. I read everything, and I reread things because I've got plenty of time. But I also have learned languages. I know every language, every tongue, every dialect on Earth. I can transcribe and translate and interpret anything in the written word, whether it's vocabulary words, whether it's hieroglyphics. No matter what's on paper, I can read, I can translate, I can interpret, and I know what anything on any piece of paper or slip says. So, if there's anything I can do in that regard to help you understand about something that has been written, I'm happy to do that for you, and so just let me know. But, my friend, my new friend, my very hot and sweaty friend, before we get into anything else, I'd like to know your story. And the guy says, I'm going to tell you my story. It has been one heck of a ride. You see, hard to believe, but I was working on this banana boat. And the boat went out of business, and I got this pink slip to get another job. I couldn't read the slip, so I asked a lady on the street. She went, "Ah!" and fainted. Then this man, he started beating on me. A cop broke it up. They brought me to the police station, and they booked me. And I went to the desk sergeant, and he decided that they would press charges. I was appointed a lawyer, a public defender. Now, you probably have lots of lawyers down here that could tell you stories, but this public defender says, trust me. He tells me to plead guilty and throw myself on the mercy of the court. We have a trial, the prosecutor puts on a case, the judge hears my guilty plea and that I threw myself on the mercy of the court, but this judge, he sentences me to death. The executioner had no problem carrying out his order, and I was killed. My first stop before arriving here at my final destination was the pearly gates, and St. Peter decided that it was more appropriate that I come here. That's my story. The devil says, wow, it sounds like you got a raw deal here. You ever wonder what's on that pink slip? And the guy says, ever since I got it, I've wondered what's on that pink slip. If I could just know what's on that pink slip, that the lady said, and fainted, and the guy beat me up, and the cop arrested me, and the booking agent booked me, and the desk sergeant pressed charges, and the public defender told me to plead guilty, and the judge sentenced me to death, and the executioner killed me, and St. Peter sent me here. If I could just know what's on the slip, well, at least I'd know. Knowing is something. And the devil says, you might remember that when I first went through the orientation, I told you that anything on a piece of paper, anything written, I can translate. Now, I can't undo what's happened. I can't send you back. I can't find you another lawyer, although believe me, there are plenty that are here, or plenty that are up there that are going to be coming here. I can't do that for you. But knowing is something. Would you like me to read the slip? Just give me the slip, I'll read it. And the guy says, sure, why not? So the guy turns back to where he placed his clothing, and realized that a fire thing had shot up, and it was all burned. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.